I think one of the worst betrayals that one can feel at work is when someone takes credit for your work, and especially when it's your boss. So one thing I would verify if you feel that your boss is taking credit for your work is that really the case? Because often we'll overhear something in a meeting, or we'll overhear our boss talking about a project as if he did it or she did it when you obviously contributed to it and your name isn't mentioned. And if that even happens one time, there's a huge chance that you're going to have a big reaction and you're going to feel completely betrayed. And so it tends to then make you feel like your boss doesn't give you any credit ever. So the thing to verify is, what does your boss really say about you behind closed doors? Does your boss really just not mention anything about your accomplishments, never advocate for you? Or, you know, is this an anomaly? Your boss maybe just assumed that when they talked about the project, it was implied. That's a lot of times what happens. The thing to keep in mind is you don't really need to depend on your boss to build your reputation. So if your boss is really that insecure and taking credit for everybody's work and never mentioning you, it's not going to destroy your career. You have a way to keep control of your reputation. And there's 3 specific things that you can do. One is ask your boss directly for career path support. It may not be something he or she is thinking about. Sometimes we get so focused on just getting the work done and that our team is all about getting the projects done that we don't think about the fact that the people on our team really want to get visibility and move forward in our career. And it's our responsibility as their manager to support that. So when you ask that in a one-on-one session, then you're planting a seed that may not have been there before. And that may put the idea in your boss's head that it's a good idea to talk to other people about your accomplishments. Now, even if that doesn't work, you can manage your own reputation by modeling public acknowledgement of others and becoming a visible resource to others. The way you do that is every time you work with others and you talk about work that you do, you make sure to acknowledge the other people that you're working with. Now, you'll notice this every time, if you watch football, for example, every time there's a game and they interview a football player, if they've been trained in public relations, they're always going to talk about their teammates and how it's a team effort and how they couldn't have done what they did if it hadn't been the team behind them. And the more polished they are, the better they're going to do that. That increases respect for you the more you acknowledge other people on the team. It also models it, and believe it or not, you can influence your boss and the others around you, because if they see you doing it, they may respect it and duplicate and replicate it, do it to you as well. But the other thing you can do is you can become a visible resource to others. And what I mean by that is you can advocate for yourself. You can post things that you've done. And the way you can do it without sounding like you're boasting is by offering it as a resource for others. For example, I was working on this project and I discovered A, B, and C, and I wanted to post what I discovered here in case it would be useful to any of you on your projects. Or I completed this data set, and I know this data set could be used in multiple ways, so I've posted it here in case anybody would like to read it. Or I finished this paper. I don't know if it would be useful to you, but I've posted it here in case it would. So what you're doing is you're talking about work that you've done, but you're not doing it like, hey, I did this, give me credit. What you're doing is, hey, I did this, and if it's useful to you and if it can help you in your work, then you're welcome to access it. What that does is make you a resource, and it makes you visible to people. So people feel supported by you and they'll be paying more attention to you. That's a way to manage your brand and manage your reputation. And there's nobody else that can take that away from you, even if you have a boss that's out there talking about your work as if it's his or hers.